Hey guys, Yuri here. Now, today we'll be talking about how you can overcome addictions. So, what do I mean by addictions, and what can we really apply this audio to? What I'm defining, anything which you are not in control with. So, any behavior that you feel you just can't stop doing. Now, you might say, well, that could be overeating, it could be things like smoking, it could be things like drugs, it could be even things like procrastination. Any behavior that you feel you just can't let go of, and we all have them from time to time, but I want to be able to get really clear on how you can begin to let them go, because we all have the ability to do just that. It's more about figuring out what's really happening on the inside. So what's the motivation behind these behaviors? You see, your system is designed, and by system, I mean your unconscious mind. I mean, if you could let go of something, let go of an addiction, let go of a behavior that you do not want anymore, you would do it just like that. You'll just click your fingers and be free of it. But if you cannot do it, it just means that your unconscious mind is running it at a deeper level. So there are some wonderful, wonderful reasons as to why your body would do it. And I know you are probably thinking right now, Yuri, you are crazy. Why would this eating addiction, this alcohol addiction, this smoking addiction, you fill in the blank when it comes to addictions. Why would my system, my unconscious mind, run such a behavior? Well, let's really break this down, because I want you to understand this, because when you do, it gives you the power back on your side. When you have the power back, you can redirect it into any way that you desire, which means being free of the addiction and developing new healthy behaviors that actually support you. So let's consider a few scenarios as to why I'm telling you that your system is running it for some good reasons, despite how horrible the behavior and addiction is. And I'm not over or downplaying your addiction at all, but really I'm saying, look, if we understand this, we can really make powerful changes. So let's take an example. If someone is overeating, why would someone overeat? When it comes to an eating addiction, what are people getting from that eating addiction? Yeah, so I remember when I used to eat far more than I do right now. I mean, about 2-3 years ago, I was 20-25 pounds overweight, and my eating behaviors were there for many different types of reasons. So sometimes it was because of stress. Other times it was because I was getting enjoyment out of it. And there were other times when it was more of a habitual process, and it just stayed there. The chances are there's going to be a level of habit, because anything that you do with consistency will actually be handed down to your unconscious mind. It's like learning to drive. Once you've been driving for a period of time, your unconscious mind just assumes that responsibility and does it for you. That is why when you go from A to B, sometimes you think, how did I get here? Well, we got there because your unconscious mind learned that habit the same way that you do when you are walking. Same thing, you do anything on autopilot. When you think about it, getting dressed, all those things, you just do it naturally because you've been doing it for so long. Your brain is becoming hardwired into doing that behavior. So any addiction has a huge level of habit there. But it's not just the habit, it's about things like when it comes to eating comfort. If it's about drugs, it's about changing your emotional state. If it's about alcohol, changing your emotional state, and that could be around stress. Once again, it could be enjoyment, it could be socializing. Any of the behaviors that we are having, which are addictive behaviors, are actually positive in their intentions. And if we break it down very simply, we are doing it to change our emotional state in some way. Even things like buying addictions. When some people buy things, they get excitement. So that's changing their emotional state. If they're eating something, they're getting some form of comfort. Maybe if they're smoking, they're maybe doing it for comfort. Once again, stress, you name it. Even things like behavior such as fears. What's the intention behind a fear or a phobia? Is protecting us. It's trying to, at the very least. So if we've got this intention behind these addictive behaviors, we have to focus on that rather than behavior itself. I want you to have total control. So the addictions that we have, or the behaviors that we are running, even things like procrastination. What's the intention behind procrastination? Well, it's to stop us from doing something. whether it be about doing a certain project because it takes work and it's easier not to do it. Or even it could be that you have a fear of failure or a fear of success, or we don't believe we're good enough. So we try not to do that, and to change our state or to avoid the situation, we do a procrastinating behavior. So what I'm really saying here is forget about the behavior for the moment, because we know that's bad. That's bad. It's not supporting you how it should be. Let's focus on the intention. So your system is trying to do something for you on its behalf. What we have to do is re-educate it in such a way that gives you more emotional freedom. So when it comes to an addiction, you have to ask yourself, what's the intention behind this? What is this behavior that I'm doing trying to get me but not fulfilling me at all? So we've got to look at the values behind it. What's the value there of any behavior? Is it getting you excitement? Is it getting you comfort? Is it getting you safety? Is it getting you fill in the blank? When you begin to hone that down as to what it's really getting you, we've got something to work with. So we want to be able to understand what those values are when we understand those values or the intentions behind it. You can consciously choose behaviors which will suit the real intention. If your intentions was to have experience, comfort, or to change your emotional state in some way, you then look for behaviors which will match that state instead. Okay? So if yours was to experience more comfort, you then begin to look for other healthier, comforting behaviors. Okay, so what could that be? It could be going for a bit like a walk to get some fresh air. It could be actually having a certain healthy drink which satisfies that craving of some sort. It could be literally anything. Now, obviously, hypnosis is a great way of doing that, and I've got a surprise for you very soon. But I want you to at first get very clear on what is the core thing, which is your system is trying to experience but not doing it. Because as I said, whether it be a fear or a phobia, whether it be an addiction, whatever behavior we are doing, there's an intention, there's something. Or if you're not quite getting the word intention, there's a motivation or reason as to why it's trying to do that behavior. Ultimately, it's trying to satisfy your value for whatever it is. And if we can figure out what that core thing is, and you know that more than me because you are you, and I'm over here and I haven't asked you questions, but I can help you with that very soon as well. But I want you to ask that question yourself. What is it that this behavior is getting me? No matter how small it is, no matter how insignificant you think it is, think about that. Because when you do, you'll get more clearer. You ask yourself, what's the intention behind this behavior? What's the thing it's trying to get me but not satisfying me? When we figure out that value. Because ultimately, if you've got a behavior which has gone wrong or an addiction which is out of control, you are trying to satisfy your needs, but they're not being met. So you keep on doing the same behavior over and over again, trying to get the same results of satisfaction. We just want to be able to figure out what that core thing is and then begin to look for other things which match it, which are actually healthy, so we can begin to retrain your mind. And also, by the way, if you begin to have a certain dislike to an addiction, because I know that obviously that's human, that's natural. If you have a drinking addiction, you are going to feel a lot of anger, probably a lot of guilt, a lot of hurt. Or if it be drugs, or whether it be even procrastination, you are going to start to resent the behavior, aren't you? That's quite natural. If you don't like something, you begin to dislike it. You begin to associate with it with negative feelings. Well, let me tell you right now, as well as that's well-intentioned, it's not the healthiest way of being. And I'll explain that right now, in fact, because the more you begin to dislike your addiction, you are ultimately disliking your unconscious mind to a certain level. You could say it's been trying to satisfy you through this behavior. It's not doing it. So you get annoyed, and that annoyance gets directed at a behavior which is being run by the unconscious mind. It's almost like, I love this metaphor and I say it a lot. You come home from work one day and your child has painted this wonderful picture for you, but it just so happens to be on your brand new painted wall. So it's got this painting on your wall and you are thinking, oh my goodness, I can't believe this brand new painted wall has now got this beautiful picture from my child. I just wish it was on a piece of paper instead. Now, obviously, you wouldn't scold that child. You wouldn't berate it or belittle it or go crazy in any way you would want to re-educate that child. And that's what we have to do when we're working with our unconscious mind. We have to go, look, I appreciate what you are trying to do by changing my emotional state, whether it be through comfort or stress or fill in the blank, but I want you to go ahead and get that comfort or change the emotional state with a behavior of my choice, and you consider the choice that you'd like to have. When you begin to do that, you are re-educating your unconscious mind and also getting back into connection with it. We have issues because we've been programmed by the external, and it's created this conflict. And we're now out rapport of our system because of it. And if we're hating and disliking the behavior, we're actually becoming more out of rapport with our own system running the behavior. So if we want to be able to change a certain system, we don't get angry, we actually begin to re-educate it. So that's what we have to do. If you want to be free of addictions, we have to figure out what is it trying to do, what values of ours is it trying to satisfy, and how can we experience the true value, the true satisfaction, the true changing of our emotional state or whatever it is, protection, comfort, stress, you name it. Then we'll begin to make the changes. We then begin to change a new habit. Your system is always trying to help you, try to protect you. It runs a fight and flight response. It runs these habits. If you hurt yourself, it heals itself. It heals it on your behalf. So if we start to create and get very clear on what it's trying to do and how we can actually really satisfy it in a different behavior, it'll start to do it because it wants to do it. It's almost like giving someone an opportunity to upgrade something, even though they're trying to do a good job, whatever they're doing. If you give them an opportunity to get better or to be safer, they're going to jump at the chance. And because it's your unconscious mind, it is going to really totally jump at the chance because it thinks, I'm here to serve and protect you. And I've been doing this behavior for the best of intentions and for whatever reason, whether it be through, like I said, the comfort, the stress, the changing the emotional state through habit, or even because of significant events in the past, we have to then re-educate it. If we re-educate it, it's going to be able to carry that out on our behalf too. So how can I help you further with this? Well, what I want to be able to do is offer you an opportunity that will get you very clear on this. So we created a system that you can download, and you can download it once you contact us. These audio sessions will teach you to re-educate your unconscious mind. But I want you to go ahead and at least take a look at it. As you take a look at it, it will allow you to get pretty clear on what the intention is behind it, even if you know it already. I definitely advise it because it's just going to help, probably a little bit more if I'm guiding you through that. And then to top it up, we are going to give you a hypnosis session, which will really help change a habit, a behavior of what's more aligned with you and what your desires are. Because let's put it this way, first of all, if you can do the first part just right here, right now, then even more importantly, you download the audio by making contact with us. We can get very clear, and then I will guide you into a state of hypnosis, which will then re-educate your unconscious mind. That means we're getting deep to the unconscious mind to get you to change in the most profound way by being safer in this world. So that's what I'm prepared to do, to actually give that for you. And all I want you to do is go to www.mindfulawarenessll.shop in podcasts. Okay, so that's all one word, those two there. Make sense? When you put that in, it'll take you to my website, and then you'll be able to get in contact with us. So we'll guide you a little bit as well as the hypnosis track to really help you. It's going to be really great for you to be able to do that. And it's going to just really allow you to be freer, get more conscious control, get into rapport of your system, and to make the changes you desire. So I really look forward to speaking to you on another episode. My name's Yuri Garcia, certified consulting hypnotist and member of the National Guild of Hypnotists. If you're enjoying this, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, whether it be on your phone or computer. And if you could subscribe and leave a review, it means the more people get to see this, and together we'll be changing the world one person at a time. At the end of the day, The reviews and the subscriptions and the ratings really count greatly when it comes to the algorithms, and I just want to be able to help. I'm trying to put as much audio as possible right now to really help you, really support you. And if you can help me help yourself and others, that means we're in a win-win-win situation. Here's what I want you to do. Go ahead in the description below. You will find our contact info, and you'll go ahead and book your time to have a chat with us on a free breakthrough call where you'll discover two things. You'll discover the core issue to every symptom that you experience, the anxiety, the worry, but doubt, everything which is showing up in your life, which isn't working. We'll find the hidden unconscious cause, and that's why you need our help, because we can get it for you. It is unconscious, and we are experts in that. And then number two, we will give you the step-by-step system how you can finally let it go. So that means you will not feel the fear, the anxiety, the failure, the worry, the doubt, the constant battle for the next 5, 10, 15, for the rest of your life ever again. Once you do this, you'll break free finally to achieve all your goals that you desire. And you know what happens when that will happen, because everything will transform every area of your life. You will show up differently than ever before. So make that decision right now. Book a call with us, and we can make that transformation together. So let's go ahead and do that. Have a most wonderful day, and I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.